Well, Christian, what did you think of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order?
I thought it was a pleasant surprise.
Okay. What were you expecting?
Complete crap.
Okay, cool. Star Wars, sure, but no! Fallen Order, starring Cameron Moynihan, your friend and mine, as Cal Kestis, a fallen Jedi. Or a... how would you describe Cal Kestis? He's like
An exiled Jedi.
Yeah.
Or a Jedi in hiding.
Yes. Because the thing happened that I feel like Star Wars can't shut up about, where all the Jedi... Like, I feel like this is every Star Wars property now is like,
Yeah.
we have to bring the Jedi back. And it keeps not happening. But I'm sure in one of these properties it will finally happen, and that will be cool. But, sure, that's fine, right? Your character starts out and he don't know the things he used to, the powers, and then he learns them as you play. It's like a video game, sure?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. He had
cool.
to repress his force powers because he did not want to out himself accidentally.
Has that ever been a thing? Because, like, 4 characters in this game are like, I had to cut off my connection to the Force.
Ooh, good question. I'm not sure. It's there's little tidbits here and there, like in the Last Jedi, which you just recently watched.
Yes.
Luke cut himself off from the Force in that film.
Yes. That was cool. That's not so cool. This is the part in the video where I lay it on the table and I said I didn't like this game too much. And I want to separate that from me not liking Star Wars too much.
Okay.
Because I think Star Wars, I've come around on it, like, in the immediate past. Like, I don't know, I watched The Last Jedi and I started reading some of the comic books. And I'm like, some of this is all right. This is kind of interesting. But I didn't get too much of that out of this game because it is the freaking same thing. Ancient aliens built these temples, explore the temples. It's that.
Yeah.
It's this thing that I want to get away from so quickly, but we cannot. Which is to say, this is Uncharted in space, right? We can kind of... Is that the go-to? Tomb Raider?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like kind of 2 things operating here. There's like, I guess there's multiple sub-things. Like the first chunk is just, these ancient civilizations so that we can have a dungeon to structure this video game around and to make you get the power at the end, and you can use said power, which is strong against the enemies in said dungeon, and we can create this very structured Metroidvania-y, Zelda Dungeon-y experience around it.
Yep. Climbing on walls.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there's also kind of like throughout the whole thing, there's these interesting character dynamics,
Okay.
The people on the ship. You got Seer.
Yes.
You got Pilot Man, who I like.
Grease.
Grease.
Grease is awesome.
He's great.
We applaud you, Grease. Loved me some Grease, dude.
Yeah.
He's like your papa. He's your space
He
papa.
is. Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to make you guys some food. So I like it when those characters' situations bleed into the main plot line a little bit.
Okay.
You got the gambling problems that come up, and there's a little excursion with some debt collectors that happens.
Yep.
That's by no means, a through line of the entire plot line. It's just like, whoa, we're doing something else now.
Yeah. And that's all well and good, right?
Yeah.
The story. I mean,
The reveal of who Inquisitor Lady is immediately telegraphed beforehand, and as soon as Inquisitor Lady started saying more than one line of dialogue, I was like, all right, that's Padawan.
Okay, sure. And I would go a step beyond and say, as soon as you are introduced to Cal, who is a scrapper, and it's like put upon, he's like down in the dumps, and he dreams of bigger things, you kind of know exactly where his character is going to go in the first minute of the game. And then I feel like there's no twist, or it kind of, here's the cards we're going to play, and then it plays them one by one as you go to the different planets, and then the game's over. I mean, there's some surprises, especially towards the end, that are nice, but as far as the story, I don't feel like this game has a strong story, especially maybe in comparison to a game like God of War, like the new God of War, which is like a
adjacent.
Yes, thank you. I think God of War does that stuff way better than this. So.
Absolutely.
Because Cal sucks.
Yeah, he does. There's the through line in the plot that you want to get the holocron, which on it is stored the information of and location of these or all the individuals left in the universe who are force sensitive. So
yes.
Who did not die.
And
the Purge.
Order 66, of course, we all know this. And I thought that was the most interesting aspect of this plot towards the end when Cal is kind of grappling with what to do, what his responsibility is regarding whatever you just called it.
Yes.
And that doesn't wrap up. I mean, it can only really wrap up one of two ways, and I don't know. So I don't know why it was interesting, because I knew that it could only wrap up one of two ways. But it's still a good kind of driving force towards the end of the game, I felt like.
Yeah.
Because before that, there were parts of this game where I'm like, why am I here? What am I doing? Like, I'm on Kashyyyk for the 4th time, and why am I here?
Yeah. Yeah, that really bled in for me when you get to Dathomir.
Yes.
Which is that red planet.
The Dark Souls
generic
planet.
Red planet. Yes. It feels like every generic action-adventure video game thing.
Yep.
Like, I was feeling original God of War vibes.
Sure.
I was feeling heavy Darksiders vibes. Because you're climbing on these gooey brambles and you're killing all of these generic-looking zombie-adjacent enemies.
Yes.
That was frustrating. And then there's people just throwing around green magic.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this does not feel like it gels well with the tone or feel that they were going for this video game or Star Wars at large.
Okay. So, sure, can we talk about level design then, as long as we're on the topic?
Yeah?
Because I don't understand why I always need to come back out of where I am. I feel like we fixed this problem or something. Like, they figured out how not to do this. But in this game, you are always trying to get into the middle of a temple, and then you do a thing, and then you have to go back to where you came from, and it feels bad. It doesn't feel good.
I also don't like that feeling I get when I get to the end of the dungeon. I get the new power I have, and then it's like, get out of the dungeon, and then my brain doesn't yet know what I do after I get out of dungeon.
Yes.
Because I've got this new power, and then I just kind of have to fumble around and figure out what it is I can now do, or where it is I can now go in order to progress things along. I don't like that feeling.
Okay. As long as we're in level design. So, like, the puzzles, right, in the temples.
Yeah.
Were those working for you? I mean, they're very Uncharted style temple puzzles.
They are. And what I did like is some of the physics-based stuff that they've got going on.
Okay.
Because you're just, like, awkwardly force-pushing around these big orbs in a fashion that I have not felt in a video game in, like, a decade plus. Like, this is a lack of polish on puzzle design that I haven't experienced in a very long time.
Okay.
And it's almost refreshing because of it.
Oh, no.
Because it's like, this type of jank is the kind of thing like developers have largely culled from their video games. I feel things have to be very tight, very focused, very deliberate.
Press the
and
button.
this is just slapping this orb everywhere and watching the physics glitch out as the orb goes flying into the sky.
It's true. It is so true. Or the boxes are very silly as well. These giant boxes that are the only force-sensitive thing.
Yeah.
So I can climb on it.
Yep.
And there's always one by the place. Like, it just feels like, there's parts of this game that just feel like, okay, we're a video game, huh?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with a lot of video games these days. The thing has to be lore related. If you got something, there's got to be some kind of, lore tie-in.
Yep.
But here they just don't care. You died, the screen says respawn. Press X to respawn.
At the checkpoint.
Yeah, and then you go to the checkpoint, and it says enemies will respawn at a checkpoint. Why? I don't know, because Dark Souls did it.
Yeah. Okay, I need to do this rant then, if that's what if we're on this subject. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Dark Souls, right?
Yes.
Pretty good game, huh?
Yes.
You can't just take Dark Souls and put it in a different game and have it make sense or be good. It's bonkers to me. There's no narrative reason for the enemies to respawn when I meditate in the super linear Uncharted dungeon I'm in.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's not like Dark Souls.
No.
They're taking the parts of Dark Souls, and it doesn't make any sense on their own, these parts. And then they're just like, here you go, it's Dark Souls. You like Dark Souls. Bonkers. You can't do that. And it's like, Dark Souls, you have loot you're finding, and it's interesting. This game doesn't have this. It has ponchos that you find. So there's no reason to explore, because it's just treasure chests. Or it's like lore via these terrible audio logs that you have to touch, and then it kind of feels like it plays like the first quarter of an audio log, and then it's like, you can listen more if you want. And then it's like, you're not upgrading your lightsaber, you know. It doesn't feel like, the push and pull is not there that is in Dark Souls, of maybe if I push a little harder than I should, you know, there's a reward there, but I'm risking it all. This game does not have that at all.
Absolutely, yes. And I think the fact that all of the chests in the game just have cosmetic stuff in them.
Yeah.
So what was in there?
Is a large driver of that. I mean, it's cool that we can customize every little piece of our lightsaber. We can customize the color of our BD-1 companion robot.
Yes.
We can customize our parka.
Yes.
We can customize the spaceship color.
Yes.
Cool. That's nice.
Uh-huh.
But I don't want, like there are very few of those that I actually cared about. And then once I got the ones I wanted, or that I thought looked mildly attractive to me, then it was done. I was like, I just get in a chest. Okay, what's this one? Oh, a lightsaber piece.
Next.
Okay. Yep, exactly.
Moving on.
What's the point of even getting the chests at that point, other than just making completion percentage go up? It feels empty and meaningless.
Yeah. I like, I do, not for any real reason, I just enjoy this where you can like scan enemies when you've defeated them and stuff. That stuff's fun. That's fun.
Yes. And then have 2 lines about kind of how you can approach them to kill them easier.
Yeah. Speaking of enemies, maybe we should talk about the gameplay. Because I have another rant. These are my 2 rants. Here's the other one.
Yes.
Okay. It feels like, to me, right, there were all these considerations you would have to have if you were going to base your game around a lightsaber, right? And then they were like, oops, we lost all the considerations. We can't find them. Oh.
Yes. Like the fact that a lightsaber can cut through almost anything?
Yes. Because, okay, sure. Hey, the spider's gonna attack me. Block with my lightsaber, and then it's like, oops. It just like bounces off my lightsaber. Oops, there's a locked door. How can I get past this with my lightsaber? How about I do a detour for 5 minutes and go get a key or something for it? It doesn't make any sense. I need my verisimilitude in my Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order action games, dude.
Yeah?
I gotta feel it.
One thing that bothered me was the disproportionality of just like animals and wildlife that you're dealing with all the time.
Okay.
You're always fighting spiders, you're always fighting these womp rats looking things.
Yep.
You're fighting these
penis monsters.
Yeah, you're fighting these creatures. You're fighting like zombies in all of Dathomir. Where's that good old fashioned Star Wars iconography that you only get in like 2 areas? I was a little disappointed.
I totally get that, but I think when they do that iconography, it actually works really, really well.
Yeah.
Like,
and it makes more sense.
Yes. It doesn't make sense why I have to hit a stormtrooper 8 times with my lightsaber.
Yeah. It also doesn't make sense why these stormtroopers with stun batons are just aimlessly wandering this forest, but...
By a ledge that they can be pushed off very easily over and over and over through the whole game.
Yes.
You can do that.
You certainly can.
Was that another consideration they lost, or am I supposed to breeze through this game because you can just push everyone off a ledge? I don't know.
That is a very good question. I feel like they were kind of trying to set up different situations for you to use different force powers.
Yes.
But there's a lot of instances where you can use force push, and it lets you bypass a lot of fights where they would otherwise drag on for far too long.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it sucks because it's a one-button game at some point. Like, there's no finesse to the combat, I feel like. It's very mashy. It doesn't feel like you're a Jedi, really. It just feels like you're bashing things with your stick over and over until they die. It's like
Yes.
hit them until their meter's gone, then roll, and then hit them until their meter's gone or something. It's very basic. I have one final rant before approaching the end. It's that BD1 sucks. I'm just kidding. This is like the worst opening to a game I've experienced in a long time because it is just climb on stuff. Climb on stuff. Isn't this cool? Climb this wall. Climb this grate. Climbing sucks. I don't want to climb things in video games. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's walking a hallway vertically. Like there's no, you're just passing time.
Well, they got to get you acclimated, Tucker. Not everyone has played the Tomb Raider reboots or the Uncharted games or God of War 2018.
It's true. They will have their minds blown when you shuffle through narrow gap so that the next area can load. They'll be like, what is going on? This is so immersive.
And you see, Tucker, in this game, you have to push a button in order to grab on.
Yeah, what
to
is
walls.
that crap? What are they doing?
I don't know.
Why would I not grab it?
I don't know.
Okay.
But that opening, despite the fact that the gameplay wasn't great, I really liked how it looked
Yes.
and what it meant from a universe and setting perspective.
Okay.
Because we've got Ship Graveyard, and that helped my brain kind of bridge that gap I have in my mind between episodes 3 and 4. We're seeing all the aftermath from the Clone Wars. We're seeing where all that junk is going. And we can see some of that transition. We see the Empire troops kind of bleeding into them while there's like clone trooper armor stacked up everywhere.
Yes. I'm right there with you on this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it looks phenomenal. And as rote as I thought the story was, I think it establishes the characters really well.
Yeah, you got Buddy. The Buddy
Yeah,
who dies.
he was awesome.
Alien Buddy.
I want his story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually good though, dude.
It
When
is,
he's like,
yes.
When he's like, we know one of you is the Jedi, and then he like doesn't come forward, but he kind of starts coming forward for you,
Yeah.
and it's like, ooh, dude, you're gonna die,
Yeah.
but I love you.
Yeah. Great
good.
opening.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate they couldn't maintain that quality throughout the rest of it, but
Yeah, because there's parts of this game that just don't. Because I feel bad or stupid because I was like, dude, this game looks awesome, and then I feel like you get out of that intro and the game does not look awesome anymore.
yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Parts of it look really good, but
Yeah. Yeah, that rain and zipping by on the train. That stuff looked awesome.
yeah.
But the faces.
The faces, what is going on with these faces, dude?
I don't like them.
Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Syndrome.
Why is everyone having an allergic reaction and their faces are all puffy?
They all got stung by bees. These poor people. And then like Grease.
Yes.
He looks good because he doesn't have to be like a weird human face.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. BD1, character of the year, my guy.
Ooh.
So expressive. Such a great little design for your little robot buddy.
Yes.
I loved me some BD1. So, Christian, where would you like to put Star Wars Jedi Fallen?
I feel like somewhere in the middle of the pack is probably a good home.
Yeah, but the middle of the pack is bad, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Sonic.
Yeah. We don't do a lot of like modern
No.
games.
This is one of the few, Tucker.
I know. It's hard.
This isn't a Sonic game.
No, it's not.
What is this?
You do like scoot down slides like in Mario 64 for some reason a lot.
Hey, that was in the Tomb Raider reboot also.
Yeah, a lot of things were.
Yeah.
I think this is better than Metroid Prime.
Wow, really?
Maybe like below Fable 2.
I feel good with that.
Yeah?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You feel good about it being right above Link's Awakening?
Sure. Yeah, I
Okay.
can see that.
Okay.